Tempe Police Department is under fire after an edited video of body camera footage was leaked online or released online, if you will, of a drowning incident of a resident. We do have a clip. It is pretty pretty hard to watch, but before we watch it, I'll give you guys a little bit more context. The video is going to show a gentleman named Sean Bickings. He's 34 years old, and he climbs over a fence, a 4-foot fence along the Tempe Town Lake. Officers are there. They're responding to what I understand to be a domestic dispute. And they're telling him that he's not permitted to swim. So they're engaging in conversations with Sean, and they're telling him not to go into the water. Well, he tells them, I'm going in for a swim. You can obviously tell that he's having a little bit of just like some erratic behavior. Well, the water gets the best of him, and the police officers are telling him, I'm not going to go in and save you. And he subsequently drowns. So let's take a look. We'll come back and talk about it. If we have the clip. I think, Cuddy, we have the clip.
Look, y'all, if y'all look away, if you don't want to see, like, I don't know how much of the clip we're going to see, but if you've seen the longer clip on the internet, some of y'all might not want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's
unreal. It's just unreal.
The officers that are involved are on administrative paid leave. And even, the conversation of conduct comes up, you guys, and whether or not these officers are trained to do a water rescue. And so I think what's more shocking and more damning is the conversation that they're having on the tape, and that they're unwilling to go in there and go after them. So I don't know. I mean, Mike, what would you have done in that situation? Like, one, I can't swim. So a part of being a police officer has zero requirement to swim, right? So for me, there's no way I'm going to be able to jump in and save anybody into a lake.
Well, Michael Davis, no. Mike Davis, the journalist, is not equipped to save anybody. I think that what bothers me about this video, I think that what bothers me about policing in general as we're having these larger conversations is this idea that they keep feeding us, the idea that they keep feeding our children, that police are heroes. Like, they want to be called heroes, yet whenever it's time to put your life on the line the way a hero would, they don't do it. Sitting there and watching a man drown doesn't make you a hero. If you want to be a hero, then put your life on the line and try to go save them. I can say the same thing about what happened in Uvalde. You know what I'm saying? You got children inside of a school building being murdered while all of the heroes are outside scared to go in because somebody's in there with a big gun. Well, if you're a hero, rush in and go save people, So this is the same situation. You can't call yourself a hero if you're going to sit there and watch a man drown. It's just hard to watch. I mean, we've seen so many stories of everyday citizens who drown, jumping in, trying to save people, because a lot of us don't really have it in us to just watch somebody die without doing anything. So to see all of these people with badges sit around and nobody make a move to go save a life, what use are you?
Well, let's go ahead and play the clip, and let's have our viewers, discuss this conversation.
3 Tempe police officers are on administrative leave after a body camera transcript of their interaction with a homeless man garnered national attention. The man was apparently part of a domestic dispute on a pedestrian bridge in Tempe. He jumped into a reservoir and started to drown. Tempe police allegedly told the man to swim to a buoy, but he couldn't. They told him they would not jump in to save him. The man ultimately drowned in the reservoir. According to CNN, the union that represents those officers says they are not trained in water rescues and didn't have the equipment to save the man. Right now, Tempe police are investigating. DPS will conduct their own investigation after that. Tempe also asked Scottsdale police to conduct an administrative review of the incident.
Well, at one point, one of the officers says, "I'm not jumping in after you." Here's the thing. And Dr. Jackson asked it. She says, were any of the police lifeguards? Here's the thing. If that's not your regular water, right? Like
It's
that's
not.
not
It's
just
not.
like the lake, it's not just the pool. And so I think there is a judgment call. Leon said, what are cops trained to do? Are they trained to do rescues, like water rescues?
I mean, no, but good grace. So I don't know, man. I get what you're saying. Like, I understand it from all angles, though. Like, yo, that's not just a swimming pool. You know, you're not jumping into 5 feet to grab somebody out. Like, you can jump in there and you can die too. But that's my point. My point is, if you want to be the hero, if you want to be held up on this pedestal, get out there and earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. I don't like the narrative. I don't like the narrative of, you sign up and you're putting your life on the line every day. Like, that's what they tell us all the time. Yet there's so many situations that when it's time to actually put your life on the line, that's when you're afraid. You know what I mean? Like when it's somebody, I don't want to get into everything, but yeah, that's my take. I don't want to go to Mike Davis today. I got so much more I'd like to say.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say that I'm not mad that they didn't jump in after him, but I am thinking about Leon's point where he says, aren't they trained to call in for help? So they did call in for a boat prior to the gentleman drowning. So there was a call for help, but obviously it was too little too late. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the conversation also makes me think of the shooting at Robb Elementary School, where some of the police officers said they were not able to enter the classroom because they didn't have their gear. And so there is a fine line in making that decision as a first responder and what tactics you are going to take there. So again, I'm not sure if the Tempe Police Department has a requirement for police officers to know how to swim and to make a swim rescue, right? Because that's one thing. It's one thing for you to know how to swim, and another thing for you to be able to jump into a lake off of a bridge and then be able to save someone from drowning safely and bring them back. So I think this is a bit more complicated.
It's very complicated, Julie, but can we please put Harry Jefferson's comment up? Because he done said the quiet part out loud, man. This is what I was thinking, and I just wasn't going to say it, but I mean, man.
I do not know the race of the officers,
I don't
but
either.
I believe the drowning victim in this case was a Black man.
Like, I understand, though, where his thinking is, because my thinking was in the similar area, but without the facts, I just don't feel comfortable coming out and saying that, because I don't know. But
my last point is going to be, if this were like a vulnerable child who fell into the lake, I guarantee you one of them officers would have jumped in.
I hope so. Oh, Harry Jefferson has another good point, though. If it was another cop, I mean, it's
the circumstances were different. They probably
judgment calls is what I call into question. It's always interesting to me how they use judgment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, George Floyd was a judgment call. Like, come on, man.